The Very Serious Crafts podcast is now on Patreon. Head on over to patreon.com/seriouscrafts to support our podcast and get early access to episodes. Find out about our unfiltered Patreon-only off-week episodes and more.
You're listening to the Very Serious Crafts podcast.
We're very serious crafters.
And we craft very serious crafts.
Very serious.
Hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 19 of the Very Serious Crafts podcast. I'm Molly from Wild Olive, and apparently I'm very enthusiastic today.
Huzzah! I'm Haley from Red Handled Scissors, and I am deeply underslept.
And I'm Heidi from Hands Occupied, and today we'll be talking about pumpkin sweaters, making linen, and volunteerism crafting.
Not hamster sweaters, though.
No.
I have not yet found a hamster sweater knitting charity, but I suppose if one was going to exist, it would be my duty to found it.
Yes.
To establish it.
I'm picturing like a hamster in like a tiny little knit pumpkin that it just like sits in. It would be super cute.
No, since it's a hamster, it would be a little gourd.
Oh, it's decorative gourd Oh, wait, I can't say the rest of that.
Yay! That's so cute.
Yeah, if people are confused about hamster sweaters, I believe there's an episode with hamster sweater in the title that you should go listen to.
I think it's episode 2.
Two.
Yeah.
Episode 2, I think.
Of season 1, yes.
Yep.
I mean,
season 1.
This goes back, but it also makes appearances along the way because hamster sweaters should always do that. They should always show up again and again.
Sure.
Yeah, and they do.
They do in my life, anyway.
Speaking of things that show up again and again, I didn't want us to have an episode where there was any doubt about my personal Instagram addiction. It is real. I'm just owning it.
Yeah.
Admitting you have a problem is the first step.
Yes.
But I don't really see myself wanting to move past that. So anyway, I actually went and I had coffee with a real person that I met on Instagram. This is not the first time that I've done this, but also, like, it meant that I left the house.
Yeah.
I was fully dressed. I spoke in person with another human being, and that's just not something I do very often. Related to this, last week I went and got a haircut, and when I, like, walked out, like, getting ready to leave the house to go and get my haircut, my mom looks at me and she goes, "I'm so proud of you." And I was like, I don't know if that means, if that's like good or if I've reached peak low in like leaving the house anxiety. She was proud that I went to get a haircut.
I got a haircut last week, too.
See, it's the start of a trend.
Great. I'm getting one this week as well.
Yay.
Perfect.
Personal
And then we'll
grooming.
all have the same haircut.
I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Molly.
thank you.
I appreciate the support.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So that.
Although it's not quite the same if it isn't coming from Molly's mom.
Yeah.
She's proud of you too. I'm just going to assume she's proud.
Oh, yeah.
right.
I would
fair
assume
enough.
so. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Oh boy.
So, I thought that we were about to get a cameo from Mr. Big Stuff the cat finally meowing, but he meowed up until I put my headphones on and plugged in the mic, and now he's back sleeping.
Aww.
But I have never had him, and I've only had him for 7 months, I think. I don't even know what month it is currently, so I actually don't. August. So 8 months. 9 months?
Whatever.
9 months. Wow. Anyway, so he has never shown particular interest in any of the crafts that I have done. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I was on a video chat with a bunch of people who meet once a month and teach each other a skill. Mm-hmm. And it was my turn, so I was teaching English paper piecing to a group of people. And these are people who, like, teach entirely different things. Like, it isn't a crafting group.
Right.
And so I was teaching a bunch of people English paper piecing who had not necessarily even sewn before. And so I am, like, doing all of the exaggerated hand movements of trying to show people how to do this thing, but on a camera on the internet, without, like, a cut to zoom or something like that. And so Mr. Big Stuff walks in, and I feel some eyes on me. And I look down, and there's the cat watching with wide eyes every movement of my hand. And I was like, oh no. This does not bode well for the cross-stitch book I'm writing. This does not bode well.
Oh, right, because he was not around for the last one.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. He missed it by 2 months.
There you go.
Well, he's going to enjoy this. Because, I mean, I understand, right? That motion can look, and especially with a little bit of thread, it very much looks like cat toy.
I mean, but he's
thing.
never been interested. He's never even, like, he sleeps in my desk chair and has never tried to get onto my desk. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cat, here we go. But he was so excited. It was like he was discovering a paradise island or something. I don't know.
Paradise Island.
It was like he was discovering food. And Mr. Big Stuff.
Yeah, he likes food.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of discovering crafts, from your cat to my partner.
I like it.
So my dear husband, Ed, he was feeling a little down the other day, and he was, I guess he must have just taken one look at me finally after 12 years and said, you know, there might be something to all these crafts that Heidi's doing all the time. Maybe there's a reason she does them all the time. I mean, he's actually not, like, a totally inattentive craft spouse at all. Like, he's amazing, but I'm allowed to tease him a little bit. Because...
Yes, that is your right.
Because he decided when he was down this week to pull out this paper crafting kit he had that is Star Trek theme. And so he sat down and spent 12 hours with an X-Acto knife cutting out this 3D paper sculpture to make the Star Trek Enterprise. And he was like, what kind of like adhesive do you think would work? And it was really, really cute.
Oh, I love it.
So now we have a very big, very paper Star Trek Enterprise on our mantelpiece.
I mean, I'm impressed. That has a lot of parts.
Yeah, but I'm super here for it. So shout out to Ed for being awesome.
Hey, Ed.
And using crafts as a great mental health coping mechanism. Way to go.
I love that.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
And also, he's just delightful. So,
Yeah, he
hooray
is.
for him anyway.
I know. My whole craft night, Ed knows this. Hey, Ed, I know you're listening. My whole craft night has said that they are very jealous of my husband, so I consider that, like, a huge compliment. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, does Ed have a brother? And I was like, he does, but he doesn't live here. Sorry, friends.
Alas.
Yeah, I only got to meet him for a few minutes, but he seemed so great.
He's the best.
Okay, so we're going to jump into something that is like, this is a very serious craft here.
It actually is.
This is a very serious craft. So when I embroider, my favorite fabric to work with is linen, like real linen fabric. I saw something, someone was talking about Robert Kaufman's Essex linen, which is a linen and cotton blend. And it's a little bit sometimes easier to work with, and that's fine. I've worked with it. It's great. But like pure linen.
I like a linen cotton blend.
Yeah, it's really nice. But also there's just something amazing about pure linen fabric.
Amazingly wrinkled.
Okay, yeah. It's also
But yes,
amazingly
I
like
completely
shifty
agree.
and sometimes frustrating to work with, but like
It's so nice.
it's just so nice. And it's really, for me, my favorite part is actually embroidering on it, because once it's actually in the hoop and you're stitching, Maybe you've got a little stabilizer with it. Great. But it just is like, it's fantastic. So, not even realizing, well, maybe realizing that this is a love of mine, YouTube, while I was looking at crochet videos, but YouTube presented me with a suggested video on how linen is made. And the first one that it showed me is great because it was going back to how linen has traditionally been made, like going back hundreds of years. And it's from a, I believe it's in Ireland that they made this video. It's part of like a, like a visitor center, kind of a historical,
Yeah.
Like reenactments.
not museum, but exactly that kind of a thing. So they have this older gentleman, and he starts by showing how they plant the flax.
Cool.
Yeah. And then they
It's so weird.
They start out, like the video takes place over the season because they start planting the flax. They show as it's growing and how long it takes for it to grow, harvesting it, the process of...
Wait, is this the Canadian one?
No, this one is Irish.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I watched a very similar
Okay.
Canadian video.
Well, I'm going to need your link so we can compare. I'm going to assume, though, same method because they grow it, they soak it, they dry it, and then they, like, whip the stems of the plant on these little spikes. There's a whole thing. That's where you get, like, the threads of... Well, not the threads, but the pieces of the flax plant that's ready for linen, and then it can be spun.
Cool.
And I'm watching it going, obviously this is a lot of work, but one could probably grow some linen in their yard or some flax in their yard and like try this out.
Sure.
That was instantly where I went. But I had to keep looking. So then I ended up on a video of how...
Don't you need a bog, though? Don't you need an anaerobic environment for it to soak in?
This one, they soaked it in basins of water.
Huh.
Yeah,
Cool.
I know. I watched another one, and it was a modern Belgian linen, and they show the fields being, like where it's planted and harvested by machine. They actually leave the flax outside to do its soaking and processing with water that way, just from rains and that sort of thing. But then they show bringing it into the factory. And this is where it starts to get a little bit... there was times when it was almost like, ew, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
Because the strands of the flax, the term flaxen hair...
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes through and is processed, it looks like Rapunzel hair, like drizzling into bins.
Drizzling.
It was,
Yeah, no,
that's right.
It looks so cool.
It looks so cool, but also like it really looks like hair, and that much hair was kind of freaking me out.
Yeah, like in a machine.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what
It's like-
flaxen hair
Exactly.
comes from.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did
But
I?
She said
did I
she
steal
no,
your,
she said
I
that a
mentioned that,
second
but-
ago.
But
sorry.
no, it's fine. But it's almost like soft serve ice cream coming out, but it's
Hair.
It's flax that looks like hair.
Gross.
So that
and
was
it
a little-
does though. It's like creepy.
Yeah, it's a little weird in that way, but incredible. And then they show all of the machines because they are, of course, that they're weaving it and making this company sells the linen fabric as well. And I'm going to put links to all of these in the show notes so you all can see it as well. Really, I mean, the original method of it, although it takes time, is pretty simple. Like, you could learn how to do this. And I thought that was especially interesting. And then just to follow it up, I found another video of a woman who she showed how she hand spins linen into thread.
Cool.
And she just uses like a drop spindle. And
Yeah.
watching her, I noticed this, and then I saw in the comments someone else said it. Watching her spin, it looked like she was playing a musical instrument.
Yeah.
It
totally.
looked like, it was like the linen thread air guitar,
or like
if you will.
Or like a theremin or a harp.
Yes. Yeah, it was like, it was so beautiful to watch. And
I feel that way every time I see someone who's really excellent at working with a drop spindle do it. It's so elegant.
Yeah, and it's so tiny. But she shows the whole process of taking that bundle of hair, and she, spreads it all out and creates so that it kind of overlaps with itself. And the strands are, unlike with wool, each piece is shorter from a sheep, and then it just has to catch onto itself. These pieces are quite long, probably at least 18 inches long, if not longer, because flax can grow to be, I think I saw like 4 feet tall. So they're longer pieces, and then the way that it grabs onto itself and spins and stuff, it was mesmerizing. And that is serious craft there. And then really, when you think about what goes into making the supplies that we use on a regular basis, it's incredible.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
it.
That sounds so beautiful. I'm looking forward to watching those videos you talked about.
Yeah, it was definitely I was like, I just spent all this time looking at all these things and watching. That was not time wasted. That was best time I've spent. It was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it also really makes you think when you see all that goes into just making a thread, how intensive making actual linen cloth is.
Yes.
Because
there's so many threads.
Wow.
Yeah, and then that really, it brings up people who were making linen cloth before we had machines.
Yeah, dang.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was a big deal to have a piece of clothing. And of course you were going to make it last for as very long as possible. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Definitely.
I love that. That sounds magic.
And that, my friends, is how linen is made. It was almost Mr. Rogers-like. It was wonderful.
Oh, that was my favorite section of Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Going to see how a thing was made.
Yeah. Crayons. The crayons one. That's the famous one.
So good. So I actually have a weirdly similar thing to talk about that I hadn't looked at Mollie's topic before I
that's
was
funny.
thinking about this. So apparently we were reading each other's minds. But I want to talk about flax too, and also spinning flax, but specifically in talking about antique laces and how when you see a preserved piece of lace in a museum, how it seems impossibly delicate and impossibly intricate, and it's really hard to wrap your mind around how anybody worked with something that small. Mm-hmm. And it turns out you can't anymore, because the varieties of flax that existed in the 1700s or before that allowed for making such fine thread are extinct. They don't exist anymore.
Wow.
And so you truly can't get thread that fine. It just isn't there. And this is a thing that's come up many, many times in my Bobbin Lace Guild, and which is the Brooklyn Lace Guild, if you happen to be local. And so I remember discussing it, and someone brought up a project where people were breeding, trying to produce hybrid plants that would mimic the varieties. Because the difference between, say, food flax and fiber flax is the length of the fibers. Okay. Fiber flax is bred to have long fiber lengths, and food or industrial flax has shorter fabric lengths. And so flax is selected for a bunch of different qualities when you're considering how fine fine as in good, not fine as in small. Okay. How fine a thread or a linen textile is going to be. The length of the fiber matters, how firm the fiber is matters, but also how flexible that firm fiber is matters. Like, it's an entire rabbit hole that I definitely went down, and I will not take you along on all of the scientific studies that I read. But there is a neat thing that is called backbreeding, which is basically just crossbreeding different crops as an experiment, seeing what you get, and then taking the best of the new generation and breeding it with other things, trying to actually get the ideal, very fine, very very strong and flexible fibers. And so people are doing that. There is a guy named Helmut Becker. Hold on. Oh, Helmut Becker had a career at Nova Scotia College of Art and the University of Calgary and the University of Western Ontario. And as part of that, he did research on hand paper making, fiber, flax, and hemp. And so it was one of his glossaries of like terms and illustrations for how flax is made, is where I sort of took that deep dive and learned the differences between different kinds of flax and how different uses are prepared differently, and how it looks if you do it by hand and how it looks if you do it in an industrial manner. And it was really interesting. And as far as I can tell, it seems like the reason that the crop that created, or the variety that created that extremely fine, as in small, thread doesn't exist anymore is both lace falling out of fashion, and that the advent of mechanical fiber processing can't do it that small. And so it wasn't lucrative.
Okay, this means that people not doing a particular craft actually caused the extinction of plants. That means that
Isn't that interesting?
Everyone should always do all of the crafts so that we don't have any more of that going on.
Yeah, and so I was really fascinated by all of the science and how the different traits were being bred for and who was doing it and where and why. And I found out that, and this isn't, I think, a surprise to most people, but the U.S. used to produce a lot of flax. And it doesn't anymore, pretty much at all. And it's very interesting to me. There are a few people who grow it, like Molly was saying, and produce it for their own use.
Yeah.
But most of the, like, if you want to spin flax, and you can buy flax just like you can buy wool roving.
Right.
You can just order it, and it will come to you, and you can spin. But most of it is not coming locally if you're in the United States, which I thought was interesting. And there are so many different varieties that show up historically in so many different kinds of textiles, and so many different parts of the world had so many varied and very specific types of flax thread made for different uses and different textile productions, like in ancient Egypt and in China in very early days. And so it's very interesting how the progress of people and like the Industrial Revolution sort of made it so you actually really can't make it like you used to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so when a lot of people are like, ugh, they just don't make them like they used to, you literally can't mm-hmm. right now in the current world of buying flax thread for lace making. Mm-hmm. So I just thought that was kind of interesting, and I will be... The lace world will rejoice if the ability to make thread that fine again ever exists, because I have seen historical lace up close at the Ratti Textile Center at the Met, and I've looked at it under a microscope, and it is truly amazing.
That's
and cool. Thread finer than a hair. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like many times smaller, it would seem. Mm-hmm. So anyway,
very cool.
Yeah, I mean, and just thinking about the flax itself that's required for that, which is obviously where that what they're trying to recreate. But then to have the skill to spin it that fine in itself is like mind-blowing, honestly. So
oh yeah. I'm not sure. I do wonder if the varieties of flax required to make the fiber that would be required to make thread that small, I wonder if anyone now would have the skill to spin it that small.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that it could be developed if you were already a skilled spinner.
Yeah.
But that actually is a really interesting point. Like, probably we don't know how to make it anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so it was neat, and I will post a link to this glossary of flax terms, which sounds like it's a totally boring academic document. And it might be if you read it, but it's fully photographed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it shows every single part, including old tools.
Yeah.
So like the hammers that would beat the flax and things like that.
When you pair that though with videos of people actually making it in the traditional method, it all connects, and then it comes alive. Because I honestly, watching just a short video of how that is done, I wanted to try it. Yeah. You know? So
totally.
Yeah. I felt that same way, but I also felt deeply, deeply intimidated.
Oh yeah.
And I think that the illustrated thing that I will post a link to is a truly ridiculously in-depth step-by-step look, because it's a scientific document.
Yeah.
But it is, like, definitely watch a video and then look at the photos, because then it will be very clear what's going on and you will be even more impressed.
So cool.
Well, what are you reading over there? Sorry, that was a terrible segue.
Are you taking scientific deep dives into flax agricultural production?
Heck no.
Well,
she has something breeding on her knitting needles.
Yeah. So while we've been sitting here listening to my very smart friends, Mollie and Haley, be very smart.
That's just Haley. That's the very smart one.
Oh, come now.
Yeah. Oh, come now is the right response. Well, what I'm doing over here is I am knitting myself a pumpkin sweater, because that's just something I felt like doing, you know.
Wait, explain. Explain pumpkin sweater. I'm very excited now.
Thank you for your curiosity, Haley. I am also sleep deprived, so.
No, I'm genuinely really excited.
Yeah. So if you've ever listened to any of the junk I've rambled about on this podcast, it usually comes down to wanting to make clothes that fit. At least that's been my theme for season 2, I think. And it's also been learning a lot about vintage crafting. Not like antique crafting, like weaving flax out of hair or whatever these two were just talking about.
You can weave lace out of hair. It's really beautiful.
Oh, BTW, I think that doing maybe an episode around Halloween all about crafting with hair, I really think we need to do that.
I have so many resources.
I bet you do, girlfriend. I bet you do.
Okay.
I've seen hair lace in person.
I think I have too at like a museum, probably.
Probably.
But it probably didn't have the deep
really
emotional
cool.
impact on me that I'm sure it had on you.
Well, I saw it not behind glass. I saw it on a table.
I'm
in
good
front
with
of me.
distance. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to pumpkin sweaters. So yeah, right now I have cast on a vintage style sweater. I'm really into this 1940s silhouette still after going on a vintage knitting retreat this spring. So that's cool. And I think that these silhouettes are ones that really flatter my body because I have very narrow shoulders. So I'm like leaning into.
Oh, I think so too. They look really good.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm doing that, but I want to experiment with a slightly different and slightly more like dramatic sleeve shape, like maybe like a baby dolman sleeve that meets a raglan sleeve. So like think like Art Deco, a little bit more volume in the shoulders, armpit region.
Is that the pumpkin part?
No. The pumpkin part's just, I think, going to be just a jack-o'-lantern face on an intarsia on the torso, but I really want to pair it with kind of a Halloween-y sleeve just for a fun chance to experiment.
Giant round sleeves. They're just asking.
For faces. I was picturing my grandmother's wedding dress that had the. Is this the official term? Leg of mutton sleeves?
Yeah, that's
exactly. That's what she said. It seems so. That would be perfect. They would look like two pumpkins that you're walking around with.
Yeah, I'd be worried about the face getting distorted in the intarsia part.
I mean,
okay.
That's completely fair, and also it would be over the top in a way that, I like it in theory. I wouldn't wear it.
Yes.
Probably.
Well, and that's the thing. Like it's a Halloween sweater, so obviously there's technically some limitations on when you can wear it. I'm sure I'll just wear it whenever. Well, I mean, it's me talking, so I'm making this because I know I'll wear it more than that.
I'm so excited.
I'm really
about
excited,
it.
and the whole reason I wanted to share it was that it's just really fun to get something in your wheelhouse that has you this excited, even if it's just like sleeve construction from the 1940s. And also, it's also really fun to be just making something to make it because you just want a dang pumpkin sweater. That's always a really nice thing, and unfortunately, though, I do know myself. And I must assume that I'll finish this, decide it's, like, really great, and within a year, I'll make a whole bunch of work out of it. And by work, I mean it'll probably end up being a pattern. But not till Halloween 2020. We'll need some joy in our life in October of 2020, right? That's not political. So pumpkin sweater will probably be what it is.
But also, will have...
please don't.
I was going to say, why are we even talking about
joy?
That?
What'd you say? Don't think that we'll need joy.
No. Think that we will already be joyful.
In October?
Except that...
Well.
I was going to say, it will still be in the thick of it, no matter what. But the thing is, you will already have...
Right, October. No,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's all right.
See, I'm sleepy. Yeah, see, I'm real smart.
But the thing is, you'll already have this pumpkin sweater. You will have already had, like, the thing you made for yourself. Even if it becomes work later, now it's not work.
Right. Totally.
So hold on to that.
Yeah.
And it's going to look so cute. I can already imagine it. And I also already know that I want one.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to, like, make, like, a fun skirt to go with it and do, like, a cute little witchy photo shoot. Like, how fun is that? Like, I'm not usually excited about, like, the work of looking good in a photo shoot because it's very anxiety-inducing. And so it's kind of nice to just be excited about the idea of, like, the concept for a shoot for once. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also just, like, fun stuff to wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am all about... Appropriate doesn't usually come into it when I am planning either what to wear or whether or not I should really make a dress out of a specific like pattern on cloth. But I mean, it's really, really fun to open your closet and be like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm going for it.
Yep. Well, and if I like the sweater silhouette enough, I could also very easily just do a couple of different Halloween-themed charts. I could do a skull one and a witch one, or one that just says boo. So yeah. Anyway, I'm just excited about the idea of designing this thing that's just something I just want to exist for me. So it's just nice.
Oh, it's so nice. And I often forget that, like, I should do that more. I should design, like, because enthusiasm about something, even if it isn't, like, the thing that the craft market wants right now, if you are super excited about it, that actually matters more than current craft trends.
Yeah.
Because you can get other people excited about it. Like, you're not just writing copy. You are actually flailing about like Kermit.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I'm glad you understand what I'm saying.
The sweater that I designed this spring, I had it in my sketchbook since I got the yarn last summer, and I was like, I want to make this. I want it to look like this. And I changed it a little bit as I started actually swatching and stuff. And I was swatching once I realized that I was going to release it and it was going to be work related. But I chose that particular design because that was the sweater I wanted.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's nice to be able to have a thing that you just love. Yeah. And I mean, people seem to like it as well, but it didn't matter because I really liked it.
Yeah. Well, actually talking about
the best things turn out that way.
Yeah. Like, I was talking to my therapist, actually, about, like, how this sweater happens to feel like this combination of, like, a high enough level of, like, knitting technique that I'm excited about it from that design perspective. But it's also kind of combining, like, one of my favorite things to do, which is design, like, the little softies and ornaments just for the Hands Occupied blog for free. And I was trying to figure out, like, how to bring that joy into more of my design work. And I think that this could, I mean, knock on all the wood and, like, pray or whatever, but, like, I'm kind of hoping that this actually is, like, a direction I'm going to go in. Like, that's exciting to me in a way that hasn't been exciting about some of my design work in the last year or so.
That's so important.
Yeah. So I'm feeling good.
No, it's nice to remember why you do this, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because Lord knows we're all underpaid, so you might as well be actually working on what pays your bills and or is what you want to be making, as much as that's possible.
That is the perfect way to lead into what we're about to talk about.
Yes!
Wait, paying the bills? Because I'm pretty sure we're not paying the bills.
Exactly. Well, yeah. So we thought it might be fun to talk about some ways that you can volunteer your crafting or do charity crafting or craftivism, if you sometimes is a description of it. So we're going to talk about ways to craft.
Like I said, not getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to talk about ways that you can craft and not get paid for it, which is a lot of times just the hobby element. But this is actually beyond that. It's about doing some good with your crafting. And if you have never, if you are a crafter and you're listening to this, and I don't want to assume that everyone listening to this is a crafter. Maybe we are trying to recruit some new people, you know.
Like
one
Ed,
of us.
Yeah, like Ed might start having his friends listen so they can make Star Trek figures together.
Exactly.
I like it. Or maybe they just like Midwestern voices.
That too. But if you are a crafter and you have never done some kind of charity crafting, first of all, I would recommend that you try it, even in just a small way. If you have done it, we would love to hear about it. and you should tag us with hashtag Very Serious Crafts to share your charity crafting, your volunteer crafting, etc. But this came up because I'm getting ready to work on kind of some big projects for my church. We have a ministry for kids, teens, and adults with special needs, and so I help out with that sometimes. And so I'm actually going to be making some large felt banners to hang in the rooms.
Oh,
and
cool.
I'm really excited about it because they're going to go along with kind of the theme and what they're talking about. So I'll be doing a lot of felt sewing in the next 2 weeks. So that's one big project.
I really like sewing felt. It's nice.
Yeah, it's good. I love it. I'm also making some little sewn mats and some little kits for them to do a thing called Godly Play, where you have little, it's like toys, simple toys like Waldorf style, if you aren't familiar with that. It's kind of like Montessori, which if you're not familiar with that, I can't go down that hole. But anyway, so it's like
Google
play.
it and then come back.
Exactly. But so it's play to learn about these things from the Bible. So that's my latest thing that I'm working on. But like, there's a whole, like, that's a church thing to do. There's a whole world of things that you can craft for others. I did a project with a group of students, and we decorated purses that were then given to refugees on Jordanian Mother's Day. And it was such a cool thing to spend time crafting. And when you do it as a group, it's also, it's so fun to like bounce ideas off of each other. And I was working with middle schoolers. It varied in skill level. And some of them were like, I don't know if the person who gets this is going to like it. And I was like, they're going to know that it's for Mother's Day. If you gave this to your mom, she'd be happy that you made this for her, So do your best, but think about it. You're making something for a mom. So you get into some cool things that way. So what are some things that you have done in terms of volunteer crafting?
Well, I generally volunteer time, not items, because I don't usually produce duplicates of things.
Right.
And I also kind of like complicated things.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for the kinds of things that I make. But I definitely donate like time and skills. And so a couple of years ago, I helped out a friend of mine who owns a terrarium shop do a terrarium workshop with a group of Girl Scouts, a very large group of Girl Scouts. And that, it was really fun and really interesting. And they were on the younger side of Girl Scouts.
So you also donated your patience.
I did. That is very true. But it was also like so fun to see someone, and I mean, making a terrarium can be kind of stressful because kids think that there are wrong ways to do it. And there are some guidelines, but other than that, like, go nuts. And so it was really fun to teach kids how to plant something, how to take care of the thing that they had made, and how to personalize it. And it's really neat. So I tend to do things like that. Mm-hmm. And when I was younger, I used to make babysitting kits filled with activities and crafts and things like that. Because I babysat all the time, and I would make them for friends also to take along with them. I think this was inspired by the Babysitters Club books. I think they have a kit of some variety, and I was really into those at the time. But
I think that was the era of the like Babysitters Club babysitting like go bag, but also the Barney bag. I think that was a very like specific moment.
I don't know what a Barney bag is.
You're too old, probably.
That is almost certainly true.
Sorry.
I did not encounter Barney.
It was a little more 90s, but it was like an activity bag, and there was usually crafts in it. and
cool.
went for gifts for friends my mom would make. She called them imagination stations, but we would explain them basically as like a Barney bag for our friends. Anyway, tangent.
No, it's good.
Yeah. Well, while I just Kool-Aid manned into this conversation, I'll just drop in my 2 cents here. Don't mind me.
Oh, please do.
Oh, yeah. My favorite charity crafts are...
Now that I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am an 80s, 90s hybrid child. Anyway, so... Nevertheless, charity crafting. My favorite crafting charity, because I have a personal family connection to it, is one called Little Hats, Big Hearts. It's been on the Today Show, I think within the last like 2 years.
Yep.
It is run by the American Heart Association, and it began in their Chicago office. So this woman, who I got to know personally, named Ann Shulo, she I think has now left the Heart Association for like another big charity job. She's really, really cool. And she came up with the idea of just, a charity knitting project, but the idea is specifically to pair newborns born in the month of February, so National Heart Month, as overseen by the American Heart Association. The idea is to get a handmade red hat in the hands of every parent of a newborn born in February, and along with the hat
Hey, that's me.
Along with the hat comes an information packet with some educational information about signs of congenital heart defects. So a very, congenital heart defects, especially if they go undiagnosed, you can even be an adult and not know you have one of these conditions, and quite literally drop dead because you didn't know, and you didn't know you needed to get tested. And without going into too much detail, that happened to a cousin of mine. She had an undiagnosed heart defect and passed away because she had a heart attack, and there wasn't a defibrillator at the facility she was at, and she passed away immediately. She was 18. And so when I first read about this project, I reached out to Anne and was like, hey, I have a knitting blog. Is it cool if I do a free pattern and use it as a way to talk about this charity? And she was like, oh yeah, totally. And so I put out about a pattern a year for a few years, and they're my most popular patterns on the blog. And a lot of people reach out with personal stories because of their own connection to the charity. There's a lot of mothers of children who have passed away. Usually they're of babies, but they've reached out, and I've had some really deep personal connections because of sharing the story of losing my cousin. And so all that to say is charity crafting can really make a big impact, even as a healing tool, if you're someone who's lost someone. Being able to use my blog platform, especially when it was bigger than it is now. It was just nice to actually be able to use this thing where I'm plugging a craft supply company for a sponsorship for years. It's nice to actually use that to give back. And also the other thing about Little Hats, Big Hearts is that it objectively can save lives because of raising awareness about how to know if your baby's in distress.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool.
That is
do
cool.
charity crafting. And also Little Hats Big Hearts is one that's gone so viral since it started a few years ago that there's chapters, there's groups of people who are the point person for receiving donations. There's one in I think almost every state now. Yeah, but
that makes sense.
But if you go,
I think I wrote about that at some point on craft.
Yeah, if you go to littlehatsbighearts.org, that will take you to all of the information you need for making and donating hats. So
very cool.
Yeah, I like charity crafting.
Yeah, I aspire to one day when I quote unquote retire, to do bulk crafting for these kinds of projects.
You're gonna be the lady in the newspaper that they're like, local woman.
Yes, exactly. I want to be local woman.
Since you were talking about that, Heidi, it made me think. I was born 2 months early, and in the 80s, which is a very different thing than being born 2 months early now, I guess. But there weren't clothes or hats or anything to fit me. I wore a sandwich bag, like, no joke, a sandwich bag to keep my body heat in. And in the incubator, apparently I wasn't pleased. But I haven't been pleased.
I was going to say, it's cranky baby Haley.
Oh, man. Cranky baby Haley definitely existed. My mom said that was, like, the first thing I did in the world was give her the look. So,
oh, Patty.
But anyway, so I know that there are definitely people who donate hats for preemies and micro preemies, and that's a pretty quick project. So I think... Heidi, you have inspired me. I think I'm going to look into maybe doing some of that since I was born super early and I've got that personal connection.
Yeah, and another cool thing about the Little Hats Big Heart program is that they prioritize getting hats to preemies first, because preemies are also more likely to have heart defects.
Yes, sure.
So yeah, it's pretty rad. And a preemie hat, if you want a rule of thumb for just winging a hat with scraps, size of an apple is where you start. Or your fist if you know it's a micro preemie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if anybody out there has, like, charities that they know of that I should be aware of, do let me know.
Yeah, and I'll put a list. We can have a list in the show notes, too.
Yeah, and I think, I think we should get a post up on social media dedicated to this idea as well, so that everyone can maybe share your favorite charity craft organization that you work with, and then people can use that to find places that they might share things to.
Totally.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
And actually, this episode's coming out at the perfect time, because usually the Little Hats Big Hearts donation window is like August to end of the year, so then they can launder them and prepare them and package them and stuff by February.
Great.
Oh, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah. Love it. Love Anne. Huge shout out to Anne Shulo. I don't know if she gets enough credit. It was her idea personally, and she's lovely, and she works at the Heart Association because she has a connection to someone similarly to mine, and she's just like a really, really rad lady.
That's cool.
Yay!
Yeah. Anyway, so on that, like, mostly, like, optimistic note, I guess.
Yeah.
I think that's all we've got for everybody today.
On that enthusiastic giving note.
Exactly. Yes. But before we officially sign off, we want to give a shout out not just to Anne, but also to some serious friends of the Very Serious Crafts podcast who are supporting us at patreon.com/seriouscrafts. Many thanks to Carissa and Victoria. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
If you are a person like Carissa and Victoria who like to hang out on the internet, you should hang out with us more often. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at Serious Crafts, and on Facebook at Very Serious Crafts. You can also find show notes and all things Very Serious Crafts at veryseriouscrafts.com. Of course. Want to join in the conversation? Yes, you do, especially all these great things we've been talking about. Tag us using hashtag #VerySeriousCrafts. And if you're using Instagram stories, don't forget to tag us with @SeriousCrafts so that we can reshare your stories. Are you a fan of the Very Serious Crafts podcast?
Of course you are.
Great. Pretty please leave the Very Serious Crafts podcast a 5-star rating on whichever platform you use to listen to podcasts, because good ratings help us show up in recommendations. That means more people who love crafting can find us. And finally, if you would like to sponsor an episode of the Very Serious Crafts podcast, visit veryseriouscrafts.com and click sponsor, or support us at patreon.com/seriouscrafts. Thanks. Yay.
Bye.
Bye.